Hey, it's Abby. It's me. And I'm popping into your feed during my between season break to say a few things. And I'm going to try to keep it short, but no promises because you know me. I usually have a lot of feelings and a lot of things to say. So, first of all, season 8 of the Relationships Made Easy podcast launches the first week of August. I cannot believe we're at season 8. I cannot. When I started this show, I didn't know where it would go. I just knew I had a mission for world peace. And I felt like if everyone had access to evidence-based tools to help their relationships, then we'd all be happier. And things like hate and dysfunction and bigotry could be things of the past. So I am still on that mission. I am still here doing it. We have grown. We have done everything in that time, but that's what I'm here for. And, the fact that you've been listening, I mean, some of you for years, I'm sure some have only been here for just a few episodes, but no matter what, it means the world to me. I mean, it's what keeps me going. So whether you're here for tips on your marriage, relationship with your parents, a sibling, friends, or you're rebuilding your relationship with yourself, I want you to know I'm still here and I'm still going to show up every single week, except as the 4 weeks I take off a year, 2 weeks around the holidays and 2 weeks in the summer, which you're going to be watching this during that break. So I want to give a couple of important updates. I'm having a very small but mighty shift starting with season 8. I will no longer be including work relationships here on the Relationships Made Easy podcast. Why? Because those conversations are moving to their own brand new podcast. It's going to be called, I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Workplace Therapy with Dr. Abby Medcalf. Survive your coworkers, set boundaries, and communicate with confidence. So, and it's going to be launching this October. If you're trying to solve workplace dynamics, burnout, bad bosses, boundary challenged coworkers, we're going to be talking about all that and more in a space dedicated entirely to those issues. The format for that podcast will be a little different than this one because it's going to be a maximum of 20 minutes. As you know, the Relationships Made Easy podcast, sometimes I come in around 30, 35 minutes, a lot of times an hour. It's whatever. To me, there's more context. It's just more of a conversation. It's really meant to be more like therapy. So you really would do what you would do with a therapist and get deep and really understand and have a sort of a DNA understanding. This is not going to be that. This is going to be quick tips about changing your work life. My taglines for this podcast are like, where your work relationships get the therapy they've always needed. Or the other one I'm thinking of is because your job would be great if it weren't for the people. So you get the idea, right? Okay. Now, the Relationships Made Easy podcast, this one will now focus exclusively on your personal life. So that does mean romantic relationships, family, friends, and of course, this relationship you have with yourself. So obviously you can use these tips at work too, but I just won't be calling that out anymore. I used to always have great care making sure I was mentioning, with your mom and your coworker and your boss and your thing. Now it's just going to be personal. Okay. So we're going to be splitting this up. I hope you're going to be over there listening. Again, it'll be out in October. That I'm going to do it's going to be a little different. Not only will it be 20 minutes, but I'll be doing 4 quarters, so that I can talk about the quarters at work. That's why it's coming out in October. That's 4th quarter, Q4. Okay. And so sometimes, I can really direct things like to office parties and, the politics of, drinking at the office Christmas party, things like that. I'll really be sort of separating that out. When, what to do around budgeting and, a fiscal year versus calendar, all the things that would really be Q1, Q2, that kind of thing. Things are different in the summer. A lot of people are taking vacations, how to manage a lot of that stuff. Okay. Second thing I want to say for today is that I want your ideas. If there's something you've been struggling with or a question that's been really on your mind, I want to hear from you so I can continue to bring you what matters to you in season 8. Okay. So the caveat for that is please do not send me a super long email asking for personal advice. I still get those. It is highly unethical. I say with love, but highly, highly unethical for anyone to answer your personal questions via email knowing nothing about you. You could have trauma and you could have a sexual abuse. There could be a million things, co-occurring mental health disorders, physical disorders. There's so much. So, and I don't care how much detail you give me. No, absolutely unethical. And I also want to say, I say so much again, love. I don't have time. I'm always amazed. What do you think? I say, what do you think I'm doing all day? Like, I'm working. I have a lot going on. I don't have time to read. If I see a super long email like that, I have to tell you, I have to just delete it. I probably won't even respond. I try to respond and just say it's highly unethical for me to give you advice. I try to say something, but just, have a care, have a thought when you're writing. But so I'm not going to answer personal emails in that way, but I would love for you to email me any questions or concerns if you can be as direct and short of a way as you can manage. And my email is abby@abbymedcalf.com. There you go. Or you can go to the website under the Let's Connect page. I get all those emails. I answer personally, I do. And, there's hundreds of thousands of people listen across the globe. So just keep that in mind. I can only spend so much time on these. But if you have a question, please also go look on the website. Search keywords if there's something you want to know about. I have I write the blog purposefully so that you can get access easily and do those keywords and get what you need. So, right? But all roads pretty much lead back to me. So the Let's Connect page on the website or abby@abbymedcalf.com. And then a final note about moving. So I have a private online community called the One Love Collective. And it is, by the time you listen to this, it will be over on Substack. We moved from Patreon to Substack. So for every episode of the Relationships Made Easy podcast that I do, I create a wealth of resources for my now Substack community, for this One Love Collective, for my private community. It's really so that they can dive deeper and do some real, like what I would consider therapy and make long-term changes with each episode. Okay. It's so that they can do that. It's going to be, I am no longer going to have tiers. Right now I had 3 tiers and it was a whole thing. It's just going to be flat rate of $8. Okay. $8 a month on Substack for everybody. And you get everything that everyone gets, which includes live Q&As with me. It includes, again, all these like journaling prompts and guided meditations and visualizations and scripts. And I mean, there's so much good stuff there. There's worksheets, there's quizzes, there's so much stuff. So if you want to join us and get all that for included, and you get early drops of the podcast, you get the podcast without ads, you get all kinds of stuff. So if you'd like to do that, you can join on Substack and get it all. And I need to tell you, the best part really is the community itself. There are amazing people who are so supportive, so loving. I am really impressed. I've been like, someone will ask a question in the community, let's say, and I haven't gotten to it yet. In one of the community threads, there's all these little threads where you can, talk about stuff. We share our wins every week. We do all kinds of stuff, but someone will have a question or a concern, something going on that they want help with, and other people in the community will respond. And I have to tell you, now we've been going since January of 25. I have yet to have something, number one, anybody say anything weird or bad. Number one, which I was a little afraid of, I have to admit, right? You don't know. But these are all people who follow me and who are taking my, I don't want to say advice, the research, and following what we're doing. So they really have great tips, great responses. And a lot of times I go in to answer a question after and I read what other people have replied. And I'm not only, is it usually something I would have said, it's often sometimes better. Can I say that? Sometimes it's better than what I was thinking of responding. And I respond too. I'm in that community pretty much every day. weekends too. I don't know. Like I love being in there. So I go in there once or twice a day often. And so I'm not making you any guarantees, but I'm in there a lot. And if there comes a time when it feels like work or something icky to me, I won't have the community anymore. I'll tell you that right now. But for now, there's wonderful people in there. I love it. And so that's great. But if you don't want to join the community, you can still download all the resources. I call them kind of like a masterclass for each episode. You can download that for $8. So again, you could pay the monthly $8 fee and get all the other things that you get as being part of the community and the early drops and the no ads and the everything else. Or if you just don't want to have an ongoing, $8 every month coming out of your whatever, but you want to go deep on a certain topic, you can just pay the $8 and download that masterclass for that episode. So there you have it. These are all the changes. Again, I don't want to keep you here long, but I'm really so appreciative to still be in your ears. This podcast has changed my life, and I cry. It's changed my life, and in the most amazing ways, in ways I never could have dreamed when I started it. I sponsored it myself for the first 6 years. I mean, I paid out of my own pocket for years and years and years. The fact that it is earning income is just this beautiful, beautiful thing. And I hope you're happy I'm making money or, earning income from something that I'm doing as such a give. I love doing it. I'm going to continue to do it until I don't love it anymore. And I hope it's been a positive force in my life, and I hope it's been a positive force in yours too. I get your beautiful emails and comments, and so, I think it has been. But so here's to a new season, a new chapter, same goal, helping you create more connection, ease, and joy in your relationships. It's, again, especially the one with yourself. I'll see you in August. I love you so much if no one's told you today. Mwah. Have an amazing few weeks, whatever this is that you'll see me again. And we'll be back with a great, amazing season 8.